Today we're going to look at a project we've been working on for a while. It's a 126 unit, high efficiency, energy efficient development. Everything's powered by solar panels, so it's going to be off the grid, or at least net zero. And there's been a lot of changes through the years, and we originally started this project in 2018, so it's been a long time in the works. We started it as single-family homes with some condos. Currently it's all condos, and we've got a mix of 4-plexes and 6-plexes. The topography is somewhat flat with some hills and woods in the back, so we had to develop a few different condo plans that would fit into the topography as best as possible to maintain kind of a natural feel and to also give efficient design and cost-effective build design as well. A few things that are special to note about this project are, besides the energy efficiency of it, is the pocket neighborhood design. We have several pockets built into this site where the fronts of the homes are actually facing each other, and the roads kind of are designed to be more of an alley where everyone can drive, access their garage. But as far as yards, it's developed to be more of a community living. So this first building that we're looking at here is a 4-plex. We've got a 2-story unit in the middle and a single story on the 2 ends. There is a basement underneath all of these, so there's additional build-out area for homeowners to expand their spaces. And you can see on this pitch, or you can see on this roof, we have a 212 pitch here, and these panels are at the optimal slope to take advantage of solar gain throughout the year. The rest of the panels are sloped at more of a 45. These will ultimately be raised up off of the roof a little bit so that snow can slide off of them and accumulate on the roof. So for now, this is for a presentation that's coming up at our local HBA in the Grand Traverse area. We have a home expo, and so we're creating these as presentation documents to show the community what this development's going to be like. So not everything's 100% fine-tuned, but we're getting pretty close. Some other things that make this building, and all of these buildings particularly, I wouldn't say necessarily unique, but to make it feel homey, we've done a lot of wood textures on here and stone. We're using real cedar and kind of select areas so that it's more of an accent. We have issues with woodpeckers in this area, so we have to be sensitive to that. We're not going to do a lot of just straight up cedar siding, but some heavier timbers like this, cedar beams, cedar posts, a few cedar details up in the roof. It's going to go a long ways to just adding some warmth to these spaces. Something else that's unique about all of these buildings is that they're going to be panelized for efficiency. The walls are going to be built in another place in the state and then shipped here, not fully finished, but fully framed with sheathing, as far as I understand, so that they can be stood up on the site and ready to go for siding and exterior cladding. As we pan around, the other building immediately adjacent to it is a very similar layout. It's just this 212 roof is just flipped the other way so that it's facing again south, so we get the best solar gain possible. Otherwise, the floor plan's virtually identical on the inside. And then here in the middle, you can see we have our pocket. The idea is that every 4 buildings is going to create its own little kind of mini neighborhood within the neighborhood. So you can see we've kind of illustrated some people playing in the yard here. There'll be common gazebos or pavilions, and then some common gathering space kind of in the center of each space. So what's unique about this building particularly is that it is set into the hill. So as you can see, as I pan across here, we have some significant slope increase in the back as we come into these woods. And the goal here, just to maximize the use of the site, is to create these hillside units with the garages in the lower level. So you kind of come into a little entryway in this door, up some stairs, and then you have living, dining, kitchen on the main level, and all the bedrooms are upstairs. And what's really fun about this space is we still have the similar kind of outdoor living spaces. And these communities will kind of be largely focused towards the woods and up in the hillside. So there's 2 of these buildings that'll be neighboring each other with these paths that connect them, so that people can utilize this hillside space. And up in the woods there'll be paths and trails, because the property continues to go into the back with multiple trails that kind of crisscross through the woods there. So it'll be very, very park-like up in these spaces. The other thing that's unique about this building is it's an entirely flat roof. So we opted to go with that because to pitch this roof in towards the south would create a lot of complexity, unnecessary complexity and cost and fabrication and water and snow drainage off of the roof. So we have to just go with a flat roof, and to get the pitch on the solar panels, we'll do it with struts and they'll be raised up off the roof again. The reality is what we're showing currently for solar panels is way more than we actually need. So we've given ourselves a lot of flexibility with what kind of solar panels we do. This whole development is going to be done in 2 phases. There's going to be the south half, which is what is kind of in the foreground here, and then in the background is going to be phase 2. And as with any technology, solar panels are constantly getting more efficient, more cost effective. So as we develop, we're hoping that technology will increase and improve with it. So the amount of solar panels that will be necessary in phase 2 will be much, much less. And even with the current technology, what we're showing here should be way overkill as far as the amount of solar panels needed. We'll be working with a solar panel consultant to fine-tune the location. We also have to do a little bit of engineering to make sure we know exactly what the roof requirements need to be to support these solar panels. So what's somewhat unique about this project is we're using floor truss systems. We've been doing that a little bit more recently, just with lumber prices being really high. Using trusses sometimes makes a lot of sense. In this case, it really made a lot of sense. With webbing in the trusses, it allows for better thermal break between the warm space of the living area and the cold space of the garage. What our task is at Norris Design has kind of expanded over the years. As I kind of started off saying, originally we were going to do some single-family homes on this development with a few duplexes, quadplexes. Now it's all 4plexes and 6plexes. But what our job is to develop design drawings, construction drawings, and then also marketing materials. And what's been great about using Vectorworks has been it does both, all in one software. So for this weekend, we have a really big local home expo hosted by the Home Builders Association of the Grand Traverse area. And we are putting together a presentation that will showcase this. So with Vectorworks, we're able to dump all of the building models, and this is the same building model, or same 3 building models duplicated over and over again, but we can put different colors on it, put it into our render software here, and render different scenes. We can do videos. We're going to do a VR headset where people can virtually go into this world and look around. So this is going to be a really kind of immersive experience, not only with sound, but also with these visuals. This software allows us to go into these scenes and change the location and the time of day so that potential buyers can see, okay, how is the sun going to look? At what time of day are these walls going to be hitting or getting sunlight, receiving sunlight? How much light's coming into which unit? Yeah, so this will just make it a lot more immersive. We can change time of day. We can change the months of the year. We can change the weather. All of this just to allow potential buyers or just interested parties see what we can do, but also see what this development's going to be like. I get asked a question quite often is, when people see this, what is it really going to look like? I mean, really. And the simple answer is it's going to look like this. This is just a kind of a, low resolution version of it, but the way the buildings lay out, the way the sun's going to play, where the paths are going to be, I can't say where the clouds are going to be, but pretty much everything else is going to be just like you see it here. So here's one of the finished renderings of the hillside unit. Again, we can play with the sun and show people what it's going to look like. We can get into just a lot more detail with some of the higher res renderings here. So this weekend, we're going to go to the Home Expo put on by the HBA of the Grand Traverse area. And we're going to see a presentation of this development, the Evergreen development, and we're going to see some other exhibits there, but we're going to actively participate in this exhibit and the demonstration and presentation of this development to the community. So the Home Expo is a big success for showcasing the Evergreen project. We spent a lot of time showing people the videos and the prints, and we talked about the different characteristics of the whole development with people. It was very well received, had a lot of people sign up for more information. One of the more visible booths because of the video footage that we were able to produce, and of course with people standing around in the aisles with a VR headset on drew a few eyes. So yeah, it was really good and we had a lot of fun doing it. Tune in next time and we'll see where this project goes next.